Something has happened that no one saw coming. Fans of John Reardon, the talented actor known for his unforgettable roles, are in shock after a tragic update about his life surfaced. This news has left people heartbroken, searching for answers, and holding on to the hope that brighter days will follow. John Reardon has always been one of those actors who quietly built a strong place in people's hearts. He isn't the loud celebrity who's constantly in the spotlight, but rather someone who has earned respect through dedication, talent, and the warmth he carries both on and off screen. That's why the recent news surrounding him feels so heavy. Fans are stunned, and many are struggling to believe that this tragic update is real. When we think of John Reardon, the first thing that comes to mind is his smile, the kind of smile that carries sincerity. He has given life to characters that audiences could easily connect with. From early appearances that showcased his potential to later projects where he truly shined, his career has always been about consistency and heart. But today, instead of celebrating another achievement or new role, people are gathering to face a very different kind of story. The entertainment world is not unfamiliar with sudden tragedies. Yet, when it involves someone like John, who has always been seen as approachable, grounded, and deeply admired, the impact feels personal. Fans across social media have expressed disbelief, asking the same question again and again: how could this happen? That reaction is not just about the update itself, but also about the bond people feel with him. He has touched lives in ways that go beyond the screen. This tragic update has reminded many how fragile life can be, even for those we believe to be strong, healthy, and untouchable. It has shaken not just casual viewers, but also longtime followers who have supported him for years. The sorrow is heavy because it feels like losing a piece of comfort, a piece of familiarity that fans have held onto for so long. As this story unfolds, we will look at what makes this moment so heartbreaking. To understand the weight of this news, it is important to first revisit the journey that brought John Reardon into the hearts of millions. His background, his rise in the industry, and the passion he brought into every performance are key to understanding why fans are so deeply moved today. This is not just another celebrity headline. This is a story about a man whose work has been part of many people's lives. Someone whose presence on screen often brought joy, suspense, or inspiration. And now, the shocking twist in his life has left the same fans who once cheered for him feeling stunned and powerless. The tragic update about John Reardon is not just about him as an actor. It is about him as a person. It is about the fragility of dreams, the unpredictability of life, and the way a sudden turn can leave the world in silence. The news serves as a reminder that behind the fame and the lights, these stars are human too. They face struggles, they encounter pain, and sometimes their stories take heartbreaking turns. Fans are holding on to memories of his performances and the emotions they carried, while also facing the painful truth that things may never be the same. It's a moment of reflection, a moment of sadness, and a moment of collective mourning that unites people across the world. This is where the story begins, not with celebration, but with a tragic revelation that has shaken many to the core. And as we move deeper into this journey, we'll look at the life and career that made John Reardon so beloved. Before facing the devastating news that has left fans stunned. When we talk about John Reardon, we aren't just talking about another actor who happened to land a few roles. We're talking about someone who carved his way into television and film with patience, persistence, and a quiet charm that set him apart from the rest. His story isn't one of overnight fame. Instead, it's a tale of slow and steady growth, built on passion for the craft and a genuine connection with the audience. John's path to acting wasn't straightforward. In fact, before the bright lights of cameras and sets, his life looked very different. Born and raised in Canada, he lived a life much like anyone else, with dreams that seemed both distant and uncertain. What made him stand out, even in those early years, was determination. Unlike many who chase the spotlight for fame, John's heart was always set on storytelling, on breathing life into characters in ways that felt authentic. As his career began, the roles were small, sometimes almost invisible to the casual eye. Yet even in those short appearances, John had a way of leaving an impression. His performances had subtlety. His characters felt real, even when they only appeared on screen for a moment. Directors noticed, producers noticed, and eventually fans started to notice too. These small steps eventually led him to bigger opportunities. One of the turning points in his career came with his work in television dramas. For many viewers, their first real connection with John Reardon came through shows where he wasn't just a background character anymore, he was at the center of the story. He took on roles that were layered, where his characters weren't perfect heroes, but people with depth, flaws, and humanity. That relatability made audiences root for him in ways they might not even have expected. His role in Hudson and Rex became a defining chapter of his career. Playing Detective Charlie Hudson, John showcased not only his ability to carry a show but also his unique chemistry with his co-star, an intelligent German shepherd named Diesel von Bergenwald. The bond between man and dog quickly became the heart of the series, and fans tuned in week after week, not just for the mysteries but for the warmth that John brought to the screen. The show gained a loyal following, and John's name became synonymous with dedication, kindness, and trustworthiness. Beyond Hudson and Rex, John's career has been dotted with appearances in major productions that widened his reach. From his time in Arctic Air to appearances in popular shows like Supernatural and Continuum, he proved his ability to adapt to different genres, whether it was action, drama, or even science fiction. Each performance added another layer to his portfolio, reinforcing the idea that he wasn't just another actor passing through Hollywood. He was someone who belonged there, but it wasn't just the roles that defined him. Fans often speak about John's presence off-screen. Interviews and public appearances revealed a man who was humble, grounded, and often quick to credit others. For his success, he wasn't flashy. He wasn't chasing scandals or headlines, he was simply dedicated to the work. In an industry often clouded by ego and drama, John's quiet humility felt refreshing. It's this combination, his talent, his versatility, and his personality that built the bridge between John and his fans. People didn't just admire his acting. They respected the man behind the performances. He became a figure that audiences could trust, someone they could cheer for without hesitation. And as the years went by, his fan base grew not just in numbers, but in loyalty. This background, this career filled with small victories and meaningful performances, is the reason the recent tragic update has struck such a deep chord. When someone who has given so much to his craft suddenly faces hardship, it doesn't feel like the loss of a distant celebrity. It feels like a personal blow, as though a friend has been struck by misfortune. The truth is, John Reardon's story is about more than fame. It's about the journey of a man who worked hard, stayed true to himself, and earned love not through loud headlines but through quiet excellence. That's why fans around the world are grieving now, holding on to memories of his work while trying to process the painful update that has recently shaken them. His background shows us not just who John Reardon is as an actor, but why his story matters. His career highlights are not just a list of roles, they are a reflection of his heart, his persistence, and his unwavering belief in the power of storytelling. And knowing all of this makes the tragic news we are about to face even harder to accept. The moment fans feared has arrived, and it's one that no one was truly prepared for. After years of watching John Reardon bring strength, warmth, and energy to every character he played, the news that surfaced has cast a heavy shadow across his fan base. The tragic update is not just about an interruption in his career, it is about a personal struggle that has reached into every corner of his life. Leaving those who admire him stunned and deeply heartbroken, reports began circulating quietly. At first, only whispers in fan forums and social media groups before more official confirmations followed. The tragic truth is that John has been facing serious health challenges. While the exact details have been kept private out of respect, for him and his family, what has been confirmed is enough to shake even the most casual viewer. The man who always seemed strong, reliable, and almost unshakable has been forced to step back from the work he loves due to his condition. For many fans, this revelation feels like watching a hero fall. John had always been a steady figure, someone who seemed to stand tall through any storm. But life does not spare even the strongest among us, and now his journey has taken a heartbreaking turn. Fans who looked forward to new seasons, new roles, and new adventures from him are now confronted with uncertainty. Instead of counting down to his next project, they are left holding on to hope for his recovery and well-being. The news has spread quickly across entertainment outlets. But what makes it so painful is not just the fact of his illness. It's the silence that often follows such updates. The unknown becomes unbearable. Will he return to the screen? Will his health allow him to continue doing what he loves? Or will this mark the end of a career that still felt like it had so much more to give? Those questions have no clear answers, and that uncertainty weighs heavily on everyone who has followed his work. What makes this tragic update even more heartbreaking is the reaction from those closest to him. Co-stars and colleagues who have worked alongside John for years have shared quiet words of support. They describe him not just as an incredible professional, but as a kind soul who always made time for others. The entertainment community has rallied around him, sending messages of strength and encouragement, reminding him that he is not alone in this fight. And then there are the fans. Across the world, messages have poured in tributes, artwork, heartfelt notes, and words of encouragement filling social media feeds. Many describe how John's characters helped them through difficult times, how his performances brought joy, and how his presence on screen made them feel less alone. To see him now struggling has left them devastated, as though the comfort he once gave them is now being taken away. There is a unique pain that comes when someone we admire from afar suffers in real life. Fans may never have met John personally, but through his work they felt like they knew him. His performances carried truth, sincerity, and emotion. That kind of authenticity builds a bridge, and now that bridge feels shaken by this unexpected turn. The tragic update is not just his burden. It has become something felt deeply by everyone who has followed his journey. For John himself, this must be a battle of strength and resilience. While details remain private, it is clear that the road ahead will not be easy. Stepping back from acting, from the projects that defined his career, is not something he would do lightly. It speaks to the seriousness of his situation and the need to focus entirely on his health and family. This moment in his life serves as a reminder to everyone watching that fame does not protect a person from pain. The lights, the cameras, and the applause cannot shield someone from the challenges of illness or the weight of tragedy. John Reardon, admired by so many, is now facing a fight that goes beyond the screen, a fight that demands courage, patience, and support. The tragic update has left fans stunned, and the silence that follows has left many with heavy hearts. But within that silence also comes a call for unity. This is the time when fans, friends, and colleagues stand together to show John that he is not forgotten, that his contributions are cherished, and that his fight will not be faced alone. What began as whispers has now become an undeniable truth. John Reardon is in the middle of one of the hardest chapters of his life. And as devastating as this news is, it also reveals something important: the depth of love and admiration people carry for him. His story is not just about tragedy, but also about the connection he built with the world. A connection strong enough to turn strangers into supporters and fans into a family. As the weight of this tragic update settles in, fans are left with a mixture of emotions, sadness, disbelief, and above all, an overwhelming sense of compassion for John Reardon. It is not easy to see someone we admire go through such hardship, especially when that person has spent years brightening our own lives through his art. But even in this heartbreaking moment, there is something powerful happening, a wave of unity, of people coming together across countries and cultures to send love, strength, and hope. This moment is bigger than a career pause, bigger than a headline. It is about the human side of an actor we all thought we only knew through screens. Behind the roles and the scripts, John is a person, and right now he is a person in need of support. Fans are realizing that the best way to honor him is not only to remember his roles, but also to stand by him in spirit. Messages of encouragement, kind words, and even silent prayers are ways that people are choosing to give back to someone who gave them so much, and maybe that is the lesson in all of this. Sometimes we wait until it's too late to truly express how much someone means to us. But John's story has reminded people that it's never too late to show gratitude. Every fan posting a memory, every colleague sharing a story, every family member standing close to him, all of these moments form a blanket of comfort. That comfort matters because when someone is facing a difficult road, knowing that they are not forgotten can make all the difference. The truth is, none of us can predict how this story will unfold. We don't know how long John's recovery will take or what challenges may still lie ahead. But what we do know is that he has already left an unforgettable mark. His performances, his warmth, and his kindness have built a legacy that cannot be shaken by illness or hardship. Even in silence, his presence continues to inspire. This tragic update may have left us stunned, but it has also reminded us of the power of connection. It shows us how stories, even fictional ones told on television, can create bonds that stretch across the globe. Fans who may never meet John in person still feel a genuine love for him, and that love is what will carry him forward. If there is one thing stronger than tragedy, it is the strength of a community united by care and compassion. So where does that leave us now? It leaves us with a responsibility not just as fans of John Reardon, but as people who believe in kindness. It is a responsibility to keep his spirit alive by supporting him from afar, sharing the joy he once gave us, and holding on to hope for brighter news in the future. If John's story has touched you, if his work has been a part of your life in even the smallest way, then let this moment be one where you give something back. Leave your thoughts, your love, your words of encouragement. Share the moments from his career that meant the most to you. Because while he may not see every single message, the collective voice of support can reach him in ways that matter. And beyond John's story, let this be a reminder for all of us. Life is fragile. The people who inspire us, entertain us, or simply stand beside us may not always be here tomorrow. So, take the time to appreciate them today. Say the kind words. Share the gratitude. Spread the love. That is how we make these painful moments bearable, by leaning on one another and by choosing compassion over silence. John Reardon's journey is far from over. This chapter may be difficult, but chapters change. And with the love of fans, the strength of his family, and the resilience we know he carries inside him, there is hope for better days ahead. Until then, we stand together, waiting, supporting, and believing in him. If this story has moved you, consider leaving your thoughts in the comments below. Share your favorite memory, your favorite role, or simply a few words of encouragement for John. And if you'd like to stay updated on his journey, remember to subscribe so that we can face the next chapter together as a community that truly cares. The tragic update may have left us stunned, but it has also shown us something beautiful, that even in moments of sorrow, we are capable of love, unity, and unwavering hope.